Hello, welcome back to my channel Lomzy Sews. In today's sewing tutorial, I'll be sharing with you guys how to make this crop top, circle crop top with yoke. If that's what you want to learn, then continue watching till the end to see how I made it. It's very simple and it's beginner friendly. If this is your first time coming across my channel, consider joining the community by subscribing, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bell icon so you join part of this community. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for your support and all your likes and comments and sharing my video out. I appreciate. Let's start with this tutorial. To make this with the full sleeve, you'll be needing 3 yards of fabric, and what I have here is crepe fabric. As you can see, it's not stretchy. This is a dry crepe, so you can use satin for this, you can use African fabric, you can use Duchess, whatever you want to use. But for me today, I'm not going to be using straight on the fabric. I'm cutting this out of an already existing dress that I made before, so I'll be making mine straight on pattern paper. Then I cut it out from this dress, and for my sleeve it's going to have a band just for me to conserve my fabric. So I'm going to be placing my sleeve on this and cut out using this existing band. So mine is going to have a band. So for this, I'm going to use bust 34, shoulder width 15 inches, top length 20 inches, and sleeve length 24 inches. So first I'm going to get the length of the armhole. The length of the armhole I'm using is 9 inches. I'll mark it here. I hope you guys already know how to get your armhole length. So I'm going to square this out here like this. Next, I'm going to get the neck width. The natural neck width is 14 inches divided by 5 will give me 2.8. So I'm going to mark 2.8 here. This next, I'm going to get the shoulder width. Remember, the shoulder is 15 inches. How to get your shoulder width is to measure from one side of the shoulder bone to the other side of the shoulder bone. So mine is 15 inches. You're going to divide that by 2. What you will get is 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5 from this center front here. I'm going to mark 7.5 here, and I'm going to connect it down to the armhole length. Connect this line like this. And then you're going to drop 1.5 for your shoulder slope, and you connect it to this neck width. Now, how to determine the length of your armhole from this place down to this place? You're going to divide your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, whatever that is what you will have from here to here. So if you include this 1.5 to it, that is what you have from here to here. That will give you your armhole length. Next thing is to get the circumference of the bust. Remember guys that I usually use my hips for the circumference of the bust, but for this time around, because this is a circle top, I'm going to be using the circumference of the bust for this. So the bust we're using is 34 inches. You divide that by 4. I should have 34 inches divided by 4. That is 8.5. So I'm going to add ½ inch for easing, which will be 9 inches. I'll mark it here. And then I'm going to make the armhole curve. For me to make the armhole curve, I'm going to get the midpoint from here to here. So from here to here is 9 inches. Remember, divided by 2 will give me 4.5. I'll mark it here. So I'm going to make a curve here for the armhole curve using this guide. So this will be for the back. For the front, you're going to come in here 0.38, and I'm going to connect this to this place and to this place. So this will be for the front and this will be for the back. Next, we're going to the neckline. So we're going to get the design neckline. I want to use 4 inches for my neckline, so I'm going to mark the neck width to be 4 inches. And the neck depth for the back, I'm going to make it 1 inch. Go ahead and connect this line. So now you can see the neckline is going to fall somewhere here, so this is where I'm going to connect to this one. The next is the front neckline. I want to take down to 4.5 inches. I'll mark it here, and I'm going to connect this to this. You can use your free hand to do this. I just used my free hand to do it, but it's easier to use your curve ruler. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add sewing allowance to all of this. So I'll add 1/2 inch here. To the side seam, I'm going to add 1 inch. To the armhole curve, you know we have 2 armhole curves, so I'm going to add 1/2 inch. I'm just going to add it to the back. Later when I'm cutting it, I'll add for the front. So I'll just add for the back so that you don't get confused. And next I'm going to add 1/2 inch here. This is not enough, so that's why I should have added something there, but you know, I'll just mark it like this. When I'm cutting on my fabric, I will complete that. Next, on the neckline also, I'm going to add 1/2 inch. So when I'm cutting on the fabric, I will consider that. So this is for the front. This is for the front. Now for the back, remember this is a high-low, so I'm going to lower the back to 2.5 inches. And I'll connect it from here. Just go ahead and use your free hand to do this. So this will be for the back, and this will be for the front. So I'll first of all cut out the back before I cut out the front. This is it after cutting the back. Can you see this is the back? So I'll go ahead and cut the front. Remember, I've not added sewing allowance to this place, so I'm going to add sewing allowance to this place. Also for the front, I have to add sewing allowance to it, so I'm going to cut it out from here. And then here. So now this will be for the front. I'll go ahead and cut out my fabric with this. So this is it after cutting it. I've gone ahead and cut facing for this. For the front, this is preferential. You can decide to cut facing for yours. So I just decided to cut mine full. So you can decide you want to make a facing for the front. So remember this thing that I cut on pattern paper, you can go ahead and cut the same thing on the fabric, on your fabric. I just did this because I'm using my already existing dress. So first I'm going to go ahead and sew the necklines. So I'll go ahead and sew this here, and also the same thing to this one. I'll go ahead and sew it and also top stitch it. So this is it after joining the neckline. So I'll just go to my machine now and place this like this and this like this. Make sure you align it lining to lining, fabric to fabric, and you're going to sew it. The same thing on the other side. And when you're done doing that, you go ahead and close the sides. So this is it after sewing it. Next is for me to attach the sleeve. So the sleeve, you guys remember that I'm already using a sleeve that is an already existing sleeve. So I'm going to activate my pro mode and add the sleeve to this. But guys, I have a full tutorial on how to sew sleeve, on how to draft sleeve and how to sew it. So I'll drop that in the link below so that you know how to do that. Next, we're going to cut the lower part. For the lower part, we're going to be making a radius for this. And we're going to be using a 360-degree flare.
I have a tutorial on how to make different types of circle skirts, so you can adapt it if you don't want 360 for this, but with the thing you have on the thumbnail, they use 360, so I'm going to use 360-degree flare for this. So the bust is 34 divided by 6.28. You're going to get approximately 6 inches. So the radius will be 6 inches, and the length of the top is 21 inches. Remember, this yoke is 10 inches, so 21 inches minus 10 will give us 11. So we are going to add 6 plus 11, which will give us 17, and I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance, which will make it 18. So we are going to be using this 18 inches to cut the circle. For you to cut your circle, you're supposed to fold your fabric into 4. So this is my fabric folded into 2 like this. I'll go ahead and fold it again into 4. For the radius, we got 6 inches, so I'm going to mark 6 inches here. On this side, remember, I'm going to mark 6 inches. I'll go ahead and cut this out. So I'll make a notch so that I know the center, the side, and all that. I'll also make a notch on the main fabric, on the main bodice. So I'll go to my machine now, and I'm going to align these things the way they are. So I'll go and align them using the notches that I have made. And when I'm done doing that, I already told you guys I'm going to activate my pro mode and I'm going to attach this sleeve to this. I'm actually going to reduce it because it's too big for it. So I'll attach the sleeve to it. Guys, with this, I have come to the end of today's tutorial. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.